welcome everyone to the SERL American Ethanol Series Season 1 Race 2 here at Atlanta. And for those who are wondering why are the cars rolling up on the back straightaway? The reason why we're doing this, and we'll also be doing this for tomorrow, is that if we do it this way, we're not gonna have a situation where on the start half of the field is on the front straightaway and the other half is still in turn 3. So if we do it this way, everyone will be right behind each other. Anyway, so yesterday in the truck race, we saw some cautions, but they were pretty minor. We didn't really have any huge calamity incidents. But with these American Ethanol cars, and and, and for tomorrow, the Hot Wheels Cup Series cars, I wonder. Because of the more horsepower and just better engines and faster speeds, I wonder if we're gonna see bigger calamity than what we saw last night. It'll be all interesting here. So if we go back here, I'll try to. I believe he was in the 2 car. Austin Delgado, he starts right here. He was the winner at Daytona, and now he starts in the way back here. And we saw how starting in the back, it does have benefits, but it also has some disadvantages because you can easily get into other people's troubles. So now let's go back up to his car here, and now let's have all the cars roll off. So as all the cars roll off here, the inside likes to pull up just a little more farther than the outside. See. So here we come here. So the pace car here turns the force, and the pace car for whatever reason just loves to pull way ahead here. So the pace car goes down the road here. Philip Watson and Matthew Hodgkins, who did pretty good yesterday in the truck series. Can you get that one today? But here we go here. Philip Watson and Matthew Hodgkins lead into the green flag here. So just like in the truck race, we're going to see some early 3 wide and 4 wide action here. So we'll just see how long it takes until we see a crash. I believe I just heard contact with the wall. Oh, look at the contact of the 84 car in the wall along the 42, I believe. So the caution is already out here, but we're not gonna show. Oh, Matthew Hodgkins and Philip Watson here. Oh my goodness, into the crash. Oh my, early calamity here, Philip Watson. Oh my God, early crash here. Crazy way to start the race. And now John Smith, I believe, is now the leader. And now John Smith, followed by Matthew Hodgkins, will lead back to the caution flag here. Oh my goodness, lap 1 calamity, a huge crash right here. We got cars: Pierce Savania, Riley Houston, James Rodney, Daniel Boyles, Tony Green, Zach Woodward, Connor Breeden, Phil Watson, the pole center, Andrew Brandt, Ian Saunders, Kevin Bull, Justin Talampas, Stuart Gradden, the Daytona winner, Austin Delgado, and much more. Anyway, let's go back here and see how this all unfolded. This first crash right here happened in turns 1 and 2, and it involved Pierce Savania and whoever is up here, and Justin Talampas. So let's just take a look here and see what happens. But right behind them, we actually see here the 22 in the 4 car. The 22 car, I forget who it is, and Daniel Boyles made contact. So the 22 car actually comes right back and actually slams super hard. So, and then sends both of them up in the wall here. But that didn't cause any calamity, I think. Well, actually it did. The 88 involved, and then the interior here. But then, so Elgin Mills and got some heavy damage. But right here, now let's go check out and see what happened with the leaders. Okay, so the leader, and this is the first time ever in the SERL that the leader has got involved in the crash on lap 1. So Matthew Hodgkins had help from Zachary Fitzwater right here. So let's go back into Philip Watson here. We're going to go really slow here. So Zachary Fitzwater and Matthew Hodgkins got together here and into Philip Watson. I wasn't expecting all the crazies to happen on lap 1 here, and then we just see all these cars are here. Garrett Sidner gets a chunk of it, so his bad luck in the SERL continues here. Uh, and then we see right here in front of him, we see William Bedford, Kyle Collins, Aiden Saunders, Tony Green, all getting involved here. And then we have Scott Dale. Nick Smith somehow barely gets through that. The six not so lucky. And then we see all these cars up here just like, ooh. And then things get really just here. We see Charles Belden, yesterday's winner in the truck series, get involved. Jordan Smith, and so on, etc. So as all these cars keep falling up here, we're gonna have quite a bit of cars here in the garage, I'm assuming. Here. So now I saw that crash. Let me just show you. Let me just show it all one more time. If B10 survives the most likely crashes that we'll have in the future, and gets a good finish, this right here will be he'll be crowned the luckiest driver of the day. Let's go on board him and watch him get through two crashes narrowly. So there's that crash, but then of course he has one more obstacle to get through, and that's the big one for him. Look at that! How close was that? Anyway, now we should go through all the crashes and replays. Now let's go back. Green flag racing here. I believe we have pit stops and yes we do here. So let's see how it's all folds out here. Anyway, and all these cars, some of these cars may continue, but I think some of these cars are going to call it quits here, including the Philip Watson. Philip Watson, I don't believe he had the best weekend last weekend, and this is not what you need. And for being the pole center, his day is ruined. But Phil Watson can blame Zachary Fitzwater for and yeah. So the first lap was extremely aggressive here, and the reason why all these drivers are extremely aggressive here is that because in this series it can be hard to pass. So on starts and restarts, they're going to take advantage. They're going to take the best advantage that they possibly can here, which means pass as many cars as they think they can. So that's why we saw that really aggressive start right there. So as all of these cars here fall off, we're just gonna look for LJ Mills and Tony Green. Anyway, so now all the calamity is done here. Now let's go back racing here on the restart. Here is everyone who's on the lap here, and look at all this. Here we have. Okay, fine. So we just hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We lost 17 cars in that crash, which, as of right now, is the most ever in a SERL race. Here. So look at all those cars here. Go down. As the pace car pulls out here, Jordan Smith. So if a large chunk of the field taken out, will we still see cautions here, or will we still see accidents here? It's only lap 6 of 33 here. Let's go back racing on the green flag. John Smith. So 91 is Jordan Smith. The 40 is John Smith. So here we go here. So John Smith here. He could easily clinch and lead the most laps here today, but we'll have to see how it all pans out here. So obviously, 8 more crashes. So the Ben crafted in the 87 right here is really giving John a run for his money here. And then we just have like an error crash. Let's check her here. Let's check up here to see if an error crash just like happened. Yeah, if an error crash just happened here. So let's just. Okay, so what happened this time? Austin Kennedy, he got in trouble here, but that seems to be the only trouble. So let's go back and check on what happened to him. This was a 2-car crash here. So Austin Kennedy, it looks like he got help, but he was actually towards the end of like a freight train right here. It looks like he got some help from Tony Green, and then early in the race we saw 54 here in the wall. So that's where I first saw the sight that it might have been a crash here. But Austin Kennedy, who won the Daytona 500 in the Hot Wheels Cup Series. Then we have Nicholas Grant in the 29. Ooh, just right here. And Nicholas Grant, uh, he'll definitely go behind the wall here. But let's actually go on board him and see, and let's feel how hard how hard the impact was. It looks like Nicholas Grant already got some damage from the previous crash. And this crash right here is just gonna end his over 100 miles per hour here. Anyway, so that was his onboard camera. Now let's go back to the green flag. Let's take a look at some of these like big names that got involved in the past two crashes here. So Sergio Alonso, he'll go down here. So it looks like now we have 28 cars. Valley White, Austin Kelly, Nicholas Grant, Kyle Collin, Andrew Brandt, Daniel Boyles, James Rodney, Scott Dales, Daniel Gardner, Austin Delgado, Pete Pisano, Carter Kozlowski, Connor Brandon, Charles Belding, Kevin Bolton, Stuart Grimes. So all pretty big names here. All involved here. But the pace car now is going to pull off here. And now John Smith, who's led every single lap so far. So let's use this one. So he leads into the green flag now, and let's just take a look. So will we see any more cautions here at some point? At some point, the field is going to get so short that we don't see any more cautions. But will we have more cautions here? There we go. In NASCAR racing 2003 series seasons, Alamore Speedway does have potential to create some highly requested races. We've seen it like a few times in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series and a few others. So no one seems to be in danger now. Oh, never mind. We got caution here. So our third caution of the day comes out. No, wait, never mind. No caution. No caution. So no caution yet, surprisingly. Our Chastain, Ian Saunders, William Bifford, Eric Almahart here. So we keep on racing here. So we may. Okay, so the caution did not come out surprisingly, despite seeing cars spin. If we do get a caution here, we'll go back and check that replay here. But surprisingly, no caution came out. So huge surprise here. And now John Smith has distanced himself away from Biff Crafton and Sean Hartwell, which are two drivers that could use a good run. Nick Smith, AJ Green, and Riley White. And just I just want to let you know that sometimes the like running order is not always perfect, and that's something I can't really control here. But John Smith right here. John Smith, he's getting a pretty good run here. And oh my god, we got a huge crash right here. Oh, we got a flip! Hey Joe, Alonso here, Bill Watson, watch out. So we just have another huge crash right here, but here we go, we still got one more cars coming through. So Riley White, and all these drivers were running up front here. When will the madness end here? Anyway, let's go back and let's check the first crash and then the second crash. I believe this all started right here when Eric Almahart and William Bedford made contact here. But we're going to focus here on Kenny Hamlin in the 11. So yeah, so I believe Eric Almahart and William Bedford got together here. Maybe not. Looks like Eric Almahart got into the 11. Oh, and then the 11. Did that happen? Then the 11 got into the 14 here, and then also collected Jordan Smith, Aiden Saunders right here, and let me put that here in spectator. So yeah, so we see all these cars here, and it was fine. So maybe the accident wasn't that huge right here, but we still had cars spinning and we still had debris, and maybe that debris possibly was the cause of the next crash here. But now let's go to that. Nick Smith and AJ Green. They didn't race each other kindly here, because this crash actually went on for like a long time here. So Nick Smith and AJ Green here, they made contact here, and then they're kind of like stuck together. But then AJ Green here, he comes out unscathed, and then Riley White, who's right behind him, hits the wall here, and then he's gonna get flipped here by the 24 of Sergio Alonso, and then right here, Jim Kelly makes contact right here with Adrian Felix. Riley White flips, and Zachary Fitzwater was also involved in that. So here, and then Riley White here. Let's go on board with Riley White and see what he experienced. On board Riley White here as we experience what could be his wildest ride yet. He must have flipped at least like 10 times, maybe even more, maybe even less. But now let's go back to John Smith right here as he continues to lead all the laps. Looks like John Smith and some of the other leaders are not going down pit road here, but we still have like a large chunk of cars here that are still staying out here. So it'll be curious to see how this all unfolds. But okay, so it looks like that So it looks like Vic Crafton is staying here. So it looks like Vic Crafton is now going to be leader here. And then of course, so we got some drivers over here who were involved in that crash. Anyway. So now, let's just let like more cars pass by here, and now let's go back. We're here under green and count how many cars are now out. So really not too many cars come out because Jim Kelly, who got involved, Nick Smith. Where's Riley White? So. Okay, so now he is officially retired and out of here, and the scoreboard is kind of throwing off then. I'm sorry, but now Sean Harville is not going to leave here, and John Smith, who's led all the laps, is now going to restart in 7th. But here we are here, so now Sean Harville is now going to take the lead here, and if he can, and if he can pretty much, and I believe if he can lead like the next like 14 laps here, he might be able to take the crown away from most laps. Let's see what happens here. But now Vic Crafton is taking prize away, and we still got several cars still on the racetrack here. So for drivers like John Smith, I would be just like a tad bit worried. But Sean Harville here maintains his lead here, and now so Sean Harville maintains his lead. Vic Crafton still follows here, so hungry Vic Crafton here is eager to lead a lap and take his crown away from Sean Harville here. So, another caution. Will the cautions ever end? What was it for this time? Adrian Felix, Nick Smith, Ian Saunders, some drivers that got involved in previous crashes. So now let's take a look here on what happened to these guys. When I was watching this, I believe I saw 2 different accidents kind of happen here. We saw Jordan Smith and Adrian Felix make contact here, and they go really low here. And I don't know if this had to do with anything that happened here right in front here. But then all of a sudden here, I believe we get one too many wide, and Adrian Felix here, yeah. So they come back up here and crash into everyone. And it looks like it was all against stable here, and Jordan Smith still able to keep his car under control here. But then we saw L.J. Mills, Zachary Fitzwater, Nick Smith, and Ian Saunders here. They all get involved here, but those 2 drivers here suffered the most. So, yeah, and not really too much like other major damage here. So now let's go back here to the leader. Still, after that last crash, we still have no one out here, and here's everyone once again here. So now Sean Harville here. So the standings have not really changed that much here, but the question is, will we be able to get a full? Will we be able here to get a full lap without caution? That's the question here. So here we are, Sean Harville here. So we got 10 more laps to go here. So what we see any more cautions? We'll probably, I believe we'll see at least like one more caution here. But in could we have like a repeat of like yesterday of more caution into the race here? But we'll just like have to see here. But now all of a sudden we got people out here for the lead here. Sean Harple, Vic Crafton, and AG Green here. They all battle 3 wide for the lead here. But now Sean Harple, he's going to get that great run here on the high side. And let's check right here. I believe I saw the caution lights out, and we got yep, we got another caution here. So this is the caution for this time. LG Mills, Ian Saunders. I don't know why these drivers have not like yet pulled off the track here, but let's just check what happened. This crash started a long way ahead here because we basically had like synchronized cars coming down here onto the apron, you know, very similar to what we've seen all day here. So LG Mills here and Eric Almerhart, and then they come back up here onto the racetrack. And then Eric Almerhart races, which apparently is carrying a much more like faster speeds here, gets into LJ Mills, and now LJ Mills goes down the track for the second time here. But it looks like but now he's carrying too much speed here and momentum into turn 3 here, and he comes back up here, gets Adrian Felix, and clicks Aiden Stars here. But it looks like this impact is possibly hard enough to take both these cars out of the race. But we'll just have to see all happens here. Anyway, now let's go back to the green flag. So Jim Kelly is now retired. LJ Mills is still on the racetrack here, and so is Ian Saunders. So will Ian Saunders be involved in like a 4th crash again? We'll just have to see here. But Sean Harple here, if Sean Harple can still, if he can lead the like remainder of these laps, I believe, and I'm pretty positive that he will be able to lead in those laps and take that like from John Smith. I believe he led like 14 laps. So, and these 2 drivers have been the only 2 leaders here. But let's take a look here. But now Sean Harple here, he still keeps on getting attacked and threatened by Vic Crafton here, and Vic Crafton is getting help from AJ Greener here. Others two going to make contact here. No, they're staying pretty open right here. So, oh, we got another crash here. It looks like Philip Watson are here is now spun. So this might end the race here. Here we come. Vic Crafton here and Sean Harple. This could be the finish right here. So here we go. Looks like, however, Sean Harple he got help from AJ Green and Sean Harple right here. He might have just won this race. But let's take a look here and see what happened to pole star Philip Watson. There's no like dock points because like aggressive trying here. But if the series did have like dock points here, I think Eric Almerhart would be docked like 9,000 points or whatever because he's caused quite a bit of calamity here. So then Phil Watson gets spun here, but then we have to go up to, where do you find here? Jim Kelly, because this caused another crash right here. So it looks like that Jim Kelly right here. So Jar in front of him, he had to like slow down here, so he slowed down too. And then I believe Adrian Felix. No, never mind. That's not Adrian Felix. Ian Perez got into him right here, and Jim Kelly went for a spin. And let's see. And then he slides back of the racetrack here. And did he hit anybody? He looks like he's gonna hit. Ooh, the 11 car there. Got quite a bit of damage here. And the 11 car there is Kenny Hamlin. So Kenny Hamlin and Jim Kelly looks like their days are going to end banged up, and they're going to have to take those cars to Ricky next week. But now let's go see if Sean Harple is going to win this race. My prediction was right here. It looks like Jim Kelly and Kenny Hamlin right here. They're both out of the race. So we're gonna have a 1 lap dash here to the finish. If we have no more cautions, we're gonna have almost half of the field has been retired here. But here we are. We're gonna have a 1 lap dash to the finish here. Sean Harple. This is gonna be a Sean Harple, A.G. Green, Vic Crafton, and Garrett Sinner race to the finish here. But what we see here, we have 1 more lap to go here. A 1 lap dash. What's gonna happen here? If the caution comes out, that's not really going to affect the outcome here. But here we go. Sean Harple, he's already under attack from from AG Green here. Looks like Biff Crafton just betrayed him. But here comes Garrett Sinor now. Garrett Sinor, he's won NASCAR race in 2003 season series before. You know, so does Garrett Sinor have anything for Sean Harville here? Garrett Sinor, he's fast. He's going to the inside. Sean Harville right here. Will be enough. We've seen Sean Harville here. He gets a good run off turns 3 and 4 here. Looks like it's not going to be enough for now, unless Sean Harville has a good slip out here. He's going to take it all home here. Looks like that it's not going to happen. Sean Harville here comes out of turns 3 and 4 here. Turn 4, Sean Harville will win the Right Fest race at Atlanta. So the second race ever of the American Ethanol Series goes to Sean Harville here. And I just want to check it, and we were able to get a full lap actually without caution, which is amazing. So Sean Harville here and Garrett Sinor. So this is a good run. This is a good run here, and can he carry this run and Sean Harville into tomorrow? Garrett Sinor, he did not have a really good weekend last week at the tomorrow, so he's looking for good luck at Atlanta. So let's see here. So Sean Harper here says they all come down to pit road right here. So yeah. So let's just like take a look here at our results here. So Sean Harper won the race. Garrett Sinor, Biff Crafton, AG Green, Anthony Martin. So Anthony Martin, so he came home in 10th after narrowly avoiding that first crash right there. Tony Green, John Smith. It looked like John Smith was going to be the car to beat here, but his strategy kind of messed up his day, and he just never seemed to have the speed in traffic. So traffic seemed to be his flaw today. And Bob Jones, William Bedford, Riley Houston, Ian Perez, some of these drivers got involved in crashes. Matthew Hodgkins, the outside pole center, Adrian Felix, Eric Almahar, Ash Hussein, Zachary Fitzwater, Jordan Smith, Nick Smith, Ian Saunders, Philip Watson, LJ Mills, Jim Kelly, Kenny Hamlin, Sergio Alonso, Riley White, Austin Kennedy, Nicholas Grine, Kyle Collins. So then Kyle Collins, Andrew Brandt, Daniel Voiles, James Rockney, Scott Dale, Kendall Gardiner, Austin Delgado, Peter Saviano, Justin Tolapa, Zachary Woodward, Connor Brian, Charles Belling, Carter Kozlowski, Kevin Volt, and Stuart Grant right there. So that's everyone right there. So next week the American Ethanol Series is going to another super speedway under the lights at, I believe no never mind. We're not going to Rookie. I believe next week we're going to New Jersey Motorsports Park here, so which will be I believe our first of 6 road courses on the American Ethanol Series circuit. So thank you for everyone to watching here. Will tomorrow night be Wreck Fest? We'll just find out here. Congrats to Sean Harpel. See y'all later, and bye.